everybody, welcome to another episode of January with Jesus. I'm Matt Cho, here with another Jesus encounter found in the Bible. This one is from Luke chapter 8, verses 26 to 39. This is about Jesus meeting the demon-possessed man. Go ahead and grab your Bibles and turn to that page. If you don't have your Bibles, no worries. Hopefully you have an app on your phone. I'm going to read it from my computer. Go on the web browser for Bible.com. And so I'm going to throw it up here, and let's read it together. Starting from verse 26, it says, "And they sailed to the region of the Gerasenes, which is across the lake of Galilee. When Jesus stepped ashore, he was met by a demon-possessed man from the town. For a long time, this man had not worn clothes or lived in a house, but had lived in the tombs. When he saw Jesus, he cried out and fell at his feet, shouting at the top of his voice, 'What do you want from me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? I beg you, don't torture me.' For Jesus had commanded the impure spirit to come out of the man. Many times it had seized him, and though he was chained hand and foot and kept under guard, he had broken his chains and had been driven by the demon into solitary places. Jesus asked him, the man, 'What is your name?' 'Legion,' he replied, because many demons had gone into him, and they begged Jesus repeatedly not to order them to go into the abyss. A large herd of pigs was feeding there on the hillside. The demons begged Jesus to let them into the pigs, and he gave them permission. When the demons came out of the man, they went into the pigs, and the herd rushed down the steep banks into the lake and was drowned. When those attending the pigs saw what had happened, they ran off and reported this in the town and countryside. And the people went out to see what had happened. When they came to Jesus, they found the man from whom the demons had gone out, sitting at Jesus' feet, dressed and in his right mind, and they were afraid. Those who had seen it told the people how the demon-possessed man had been cursed. Then all the people of the region of Gerasenes asked Jesus to leave them, because they were overcome with fear. So he got into the boat and left. The man from whom the demons had gone out begged to go with him, but Jesus sent him away, saying, 'Return home and tell how much God has done for you.' So the man went away and told all over the town how much Jesus had done for him." Now, this is an encounter that is mentioned twice in the Bible, one in the chapter we just read from Luke and another time in Mark. But some things that stood out to me about Jesus' encounter with the demon-possessed man was, one, he didn't run away. When the guy approached him, demon-possessed and all crazy-like, Jesus did not run away. Another thing was that Jesus had command over the demons and gave them permission to go into the pigs, which is just kind of mind-boggling to understand that, man, the most powerful being in the whole world is Jesus. And there's like a misconception that Satan and demon have a lot of power too, right? They rule over hell, and that people think that, but in reality, they have like no power at all, and Jesus rules over even them. And they are afraid of him because he is the one and true and mighty God. So Jesus didn't run away from the demon-possessed man, and when he released all the demons into the pig, the man comes to Jesus and wants to go with him, wants to be his disciple, and wants to go on the journey with him. But Jesus tells him, no. You are going to go back and tell your story. And I think that's a beautiful moment because it reminds us about our story, right? Hopefully none of you guys had the crazy experience of being possessed by many demons, but we all had this wonderful and beautiful encounter with Jesus where our story was changed. Our life was transformed. And God is calling you, calling this guy, calling me, calling all of us to tell our story. And hear our words not hear our words, have people hear our words. See our actions be a reflection of who Jesus is, because there's nothing more powerful than our story of how God worked in our life, how we encountered him, how he freed us from some crazy things, how he transformed our lives so that we can walk like him, talk like him, and be more like him. So my encouragement for you is to share your story. Share your story with someone who's never heard it before, or if that's a little intimidating, then practice being more like Jesus with your actions and words, whether it's being more patient to that one person who drives you nuts, or maybe it's just showing love by looking at people the way Jesus sees them as a child of God, or maybe just finding ways to say things in a kinder and more encouraging way that lifts people up and doesn't bring them down. So those are just some things that stood out to me. Maybe something different stood out to you. And we would love for you to share that with somebody and experience this with other people. But thank you for joining us today for this wonderful January with Jesus.